You're chasing women, thinking it's the path to connection, but all it's bringing you is confusion, frustration, and silence. You're up at night scrolling through her feed like it's some sacred text, searching for signs, decoding every post, every like. You obsess over messages. Did you say too much? Not enough. You plan the perfect date, spend money on gifts, try to prove you're different. But in the end, she vanishes. No goodbye, just distance. And you're left alone with that hollow ache in your chest and a question pounding in your mind. What did I do wrong? Here's the truth no one ever told you: not your friends, not the movies, not even your father. A woman's attraction isn't earned through chasing. It's earned through presence, through the solid energy of a man grounded in purpose. When you chase, you signal emptiness. But when you're on your mission, you radiate value without saying a word. That's what draws them in. That's what flips the game. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And that's exactly what we're breaking down in today's video. If you're tired of feeling like you're never enough and ready to become the kind of man who doesn't chase because women naturally come to him, subscribe to Stoic 95 right now and tap that bell icon so you never miss a drop. This is more than dating advice. This is the mindset shift that changes everything. Number 1. Women are attracted to direction, not distraction. A man without direction is like a ship without a compass. He floats, drifts, and waits for something outside of himself to give him meaning. And too often, that something becomes a woman. He clings to her like a lifeboat, hoping her love will save him from the weight of his own uncertainty. But what he doesn't realize is this: the very act of chasing her, of needing her to define his worth, is the reason she pulls away. Women aren't looking for a man who needs rescuing. They're drawn to a man who is already on a mission, with or without them. Think about the guy who's always checking his phone, always looking for a response, always available. He's not grounded. His energy is scattered, and he gives off the scent of desperation. Contrast that with a man who's building something. Maybe he's working late nights on a business, training for something difficult, or grinding quietly toward a personal goal. He doesn't chase attention. He earns respect. His time is limited, not because he's playing games, but because he's playing life at a higher level. That kind of focus creates gravity. Women notice that not because he's ignoring them, but because he's become someone worth noticing. The Stoics taught that a man should live in accordance with nature, and that means embracing purpose, not passivity. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." That truth still holds. A woman can sense when you're not rooted in purpose. It makes her uneasy, like standing near a man with no spine. But when you're locked in, driven, and not easily swayed by whims or emotions, she doesn't see just a man. She sees a force, and that force doesn't beg for affection. It commands respect. In a world full of boys craving love to feel alive, be the man who brings his own fire. That's not arrogance, that's attraction. Number 2. Your body is your billboard. We live in a world where perception is reality. You might believe it's what's inside that counts, and yes, character is king, but in the real world, people judge what they see before they even hear your name. Your body is the first message you send, the silent signal that announces who you are, what you value, and how much discipline you wield. Before you ever speak a word, your physique speaks for you. And here's the hard truth: a soft, neglected body tells the world that comfort has become your god, that you've surrendered to the path of least resistance. But a strong, forged body? That tells a different story. It says, "I've faced the pain, and I've made it mine. I don't shrink from the fire, I walk through it." There's a reason ancient warriors trained with intensity, and why even the Stoics, men who prized reason over emotion, valued physical fortitude. Marcus Aurelius, himself, the emperor philosopher, trained daily, not because he wanted admiration, but because the body and the mind are one machine. A weak body cannot carry a strong mind far. You may think lifting weights is about vanity. It's not. It's about sharpening your edge. When you walk into a room with broad shoulders, upright posture, and grounded energy, people feel it even if they can't explain why. You command presence. Your physicality becomes a force multiplier for everything else you carry inside: your ambition, your focus, your grit. Look at the difference between a man who's disciplined in the gym and one who's let himself go, not just in their bodies, but in their eyes. One walks like he's earned his confidence, the other like he's borrowed it. When you train, when you push yourself past failure, you're not just building muscle, you're building proof. Proof that you can delay gratification, that you can struggle with purpose, and that energy radiates. You don't have to say, "I'm a man of value." Your body already does. The man who builds himself doesn't need to beg for attention, he attracts it. Because true strength is never loud, but it's always seen. And when a man walks in self-mastery, people feel it before he speaks a single word. Number 3, masculine energy moves toward purpose, not people. A grounded man doesn't orbit around others, he centers himself around a mission. His energy isn't scattered chasing validation, affection, or attention. It's focused, channeled, laser sharp. Masculine energy, at its core, is not defined by who follows you, but by what you follow. When you orient your life around your purpose, not people, you reclaim your internal compass. You stop being pulled by every whim, every emotion, every fleeting connection. You become sovereign. Think about the lion. He doesn't chase every deer. He sees. He stalks. He waits. He moves only when it's time, not when he's bored or lonely. That lion isn't ignoring the world. He's simply not letting it control him. And this is the same energy men must learn to cultivate. We've been taught that chasing women makes us men. It doesn't. Leading yourself toward your highest mission, that's where manhood sharpens. Women are not the summit. They're a part of the landscape. Beautiful, yes. Inspiring, absolutely. But they're not the purpose, they're aligned with it when you're living it. The Stoics would nod to this truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Chasing women, validation, or social approval, those are outside events. But cultivating discipline, building a vision, strengthening your body, mind, and spirit, those are internal domains. And ironically, when a man is so deeply committed to something greater than himself, that's when people, especially women, begin to follow. Not because he's trying to impress, but because he's become undeniably magnetic. He's no longer a boy looking to be chosen. He's a man walking a path only he can walk. Number 4, the man she desires is already in motion. There's something deeply magnetic about a man who's already in motion, who's not waiting around for life to give him permission to act. He doesn't sit idle, hoping someone sees his potential. He moves with intent, with direction, with a fire in his gut that says, "I don't have time to waste." And that's exactly what makes him attractive, not just to women, but to the world itself. The man she desires isn't standing on the sidelines waiting for approval. He's already halfway up the mountain, too focused on the climb to worry about who's watching. Think about the guy grinding in the gym at 6 a.m. while the world sleeps. Or the man building his business at night while others binge Netflix. He's not doing it for show. He's doing it because there's something burning inside him, a vision he refuses to compromise. And because of that, when he walks into a room, his presence carries weight. Not because he's trying to impress, but because he's already impressed himself. His time is expensive, not because he says so, but because he's earned that cost. Through action and sacrifice, the Stoics had a word for this: irate excellence in everything. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That's the blueprint. You don't chase women, you chase virtue. purpose, growth. And in that pursuit, women notice. Not because you sought their validation, but because greatness cannot go unseen. So here's the punchline. Stop wondering how to win her attention. Start building a life so aligned, so powerful, that she feels lucky just to get a moment of your presence. Because the man she desires, he's already gone, and she wants to catch up. Number 5. Your attention is your currency. Spend it wisely. In a world that constantly pulls at your focus notifications, endless scrolling, superficial beauty, it's easy to forget this one truth. Your attention is your most valuable asset. It's not your money, not your looks, not your social status. It's where you direct your focus that shapes your reality, your identity, and ultimately, your destiny. The man who leaks his attention to every woman who glances his way, to every distraction that shimmers, begins to hollow out from the inside. He becomes a man without a core, a man whose energy is spread so thin, he has nothing left to build. Something real for himself or anyone else. Think about it. How many times have you caught yourself chasing beauty that had no substance? How many empty conversations, late-night texts, or temporary flings left you feeling drained rather than fulfilled? Not every beautiful woman is a potential partner. Some are simply a test of whether you're driven by impulse or guided by principle. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You become what you give your attention to. If you give your attention to noise, you become noise. If you give your focus to chaos, you invite it into your life. The Stoic man is different. He's not immune to beauty, but he knows not all beauty is meant to be pursued. He doesn't flirt with every pretty face. He doesn't validate every request for his time. Why? Because he knows his attention is king-making energy. It builds businesses. It builds discipline. It builds legacy. And when he gives it to a woman, it's not desperation, it's a gift. A gift earned by presence, substance, and mutual respect. That's how a modern man moves. Not chasing women, but walking his path so powerfully that the right woman falls into step beside him. Conclusion: chase excellence, not attention. Build a frame so solid that the world can't shake it. Master your focus until distractions beg for your time and are denied. Train your body to carry the weight of your ambition. Command a presence so grounded that even silence speaks for you. This is the life of a man on a mission, not a man chasing approval, but a man becoming undeniable. And women, they notice, they sense it. They follow strength, not words. They're drawn to the energy of a man who isn't chasing them because he's too locked in on chasing something greater. His purpose, his power, his peace. If you're ready to step out of the cycle of chasing and start becoming, then subscribe to Stoic 95 right now and tap the bell icon so you're the first to know when the next video drops. This isn't just content, it's a call to rise. Because here on Stoic 95, we don't chase validation, we chase victory.